Alright, so we've got Kelar facing off against TwEpY. This time Kelar Spanish, TwEpY on Franks. We had a Gojira's mirror for the opening match, which Kelar was successful. It's on a slightly cleaner opening here. TwEpY actually going for 3 villages on that initial stable. Really wanting to force that one up. So light cavalry here to try and force a garrison. You know, both these players will be going for this, but the beauty is at least the Spanish player has a hussar, slightly stronger than the light cav, but only just so. He's still eventually going to lose out against a paladin in both cases. So both our players, you're going for a stables barracks sort of opening, I'd say, because you'd want to try and get halbs or pikes, depending on what your civ's got access to, in order to repel a paladin flood as civs that you haven't got access to camels on. I mean, if you are a camel civ, beauty, because then you can simultaneously leave some at home to fight paladins and bring some across the map to try and raid with, or pick off individual paladins streaming across the map. But as it stands, you know, neither player has that option, so they're going to have to go for defensive halbs and try and make sure that they actually micro their paladins off halbs onto vills where possible. So Kelar looking to be defending really quite well with this tight box of his army, of his base here, and having his army just sort of support the weaker side that he's got everything still building on. And TwEpY actually really having to form a crescent around his town centre to try and achieve the same. I think he has bled a couple of villages in saying that. He's really managed to clean up Kelar's raiders now. So both these players just basically stabilising for the time being. TwEpY housed briefly here, so the pressure's on. I think he also got housed briefly in the prior game, and Kelar's been really able to mount some quite aggressive early raids on his opponent here. Very clean stuff from Kelar. And now TwEpY is on the back foot, but he's not down without a fight. He's still up in score, so he's got a little bit more in the bank. He's got a bit of a defender's advantage as long as he doesn't bleed vills. Realistically, the moment he gets any static defense like this castle up, he can come out way ahead in a fight here. But Kelar is going to still try and snipe some vills, or at least take them low in the meantime, and at least lock up some vill time, picking off another vill there. So now TwEpY, and another one here. So TwEpY really starting to feel the bleed now, because behind this Kelar can expand to multiple town centers, can put up more defensive castles as well. Pretty free to start taking eco just that little bit quicker than TwEpY, and in a game as quick as Deathmatch, you know, every second counts. So he's already starting to creep ahead. So we're hearing TC's finish up for Kelar already. TwEpY just now still throwing up a second round of castles and a second TC. Kelar already up to 3 or 4 by now, so things are rough for TwEpY. He's stretched to both sides of his base. He's not really losing anything on the south side at the moment, because Paladin's mostly just attacking the buildings, but he needs to eventually be able to deny this ram push from the Spanish player, because Kelar wants to make sure he can deny castles just as soon as they come up. And I mean, the Treb's going to be even more versatile than the Rams, considering the range, but you will get the Rams out a little bit quicker, and they're just as much of a pain in the ass to try and deal with. TwEpY having to tap out GG. So again, the slightest of mistakes costing him against the great Kelar.